Please note that this content is for adults only. Viewer discretion advised. If you haven't yet, hit the subscribe, like, and share. Hello everyone and welcome back to another live stream with me, Grizzly. This is Grizzly True Crime, and today we are doing a round 2 read-through of Jessy Kurczewski, allegedly Jessy Kurczewski's letter. In my mind, there's no doubt who wrote that letter based on what was said in the letter and everything we learned during the trial. I don't really know how she thinks that she can just deny writing it and that anyone will believe her. Because who would write that? Who would have anything to gain from writing that? It makes no sense. It's literally what she said in her police interviews. So most of the content of that is crap that she made up, okay, with her ever-changing stories. If you are brand new to this case, please check out the playlist that I've made for you. It was a defluffed version of the trial where we covered the trial with a 1-day delay to make sure that we cut out all the tea breaks, lunch breaks, and paper flapping and pauses and things like that. And silent sidebars, you know, all those. So you can catch up real quick. Everything's timestamped for you as well. Now, what we did yesterday was we powered through the letter. I read through it one time, okay? Then, without really pausing or making any commentary. So now we get to get our snark tanks full. We can't help it sometimes, right? And actually go through this letter. Plus, I now have a PDF version, which Grizzly Cat got for us from the court. So we really have some great Grizzlies that help out, especially I'm in the Netherlands, so sometimes I feel like helpless. Like I'm sitting here, I want to go to the courtrooms and get things, but I'm sitting in Europe and I'm just so grateful for this community. Thank you so much, everyone, for everything you do. Thank you, mods, patrons, members, everyone that sends PayPals. I mean, after the last stream, when I explained to you guys it's the best way to support my channel, oh my word. So many of you are so sweet. You send some PayPal gifts. I really appreciate it. So we're going to be looking at that PDF today. And I also have my presentation that I've got so that I can remember some talking points for you. But it's just great to have these different versions. I've also posted the letter with the presentation on X. So if you follow me there at True Crime Grizzly, you'll see me there. And it was posted earlier on Patreon. Okay, so if you want documents and presentations like that, behind the scenes things, Patreon is a great place to be. Okay, are we ready? So what I'm going to do first is show you this. Before we do, please like the video. Just quickly press the X on the chat here. Okay, go out, hit the thumbs up, come back in. That would be great. And also you can like and share with hashtag Jessy Kurczewski. I dare you to spell it right. It's in the title and in the description box as well. If you need a bit of a case background, if you don't know what we're talking about, I would highly recommend reading the description box because there's some case background for you, okay? So what I've got for you here is just this. I just want to show you this before I show you the PDF. All right. And also, I just want to tell you guys that, you know how Mary helped get us the document, like a physical copy, and she sent me pictures of everything? Just know that I do take care of people, and I made sure she got an Amazon voucher. And also to Grizzly Cat, I'll be sure to buy her coffees or send her things as well. So thank you so much, Grizzlies, for helping me. There's people that offered, like yesterday, to help transcribe things, and this is just such a wonderful community. Geneva said, hello everyone, G Grizzlies mods, missed you all, been gone a bit. You've got your coffee cup ready. Okay, have you guys got your coffee cup ready? Happy Friday if you're watching this live. And if one person says in the comments, oh my word, your intro is so long. 1, this is a live stream. 2, there's timestamps for you, read them. Click on the timestamp. It's in the pinned comments description box, and you can hover over the video. There's 3 ways to skip forward to where it will literally say start a presentation, start of reading the letter. Okay, just putting it out there. Right, so now this is what they said yesterday in the sentencing hearing. Jessy Kurczewski was meant to be sentenced yesterday, and she would have possibly faced life without parole. But her sentencing has been delayed. Judge Dorrow has decided, of course, to be careful so that there's no grounds for an appeal to be successful or for a mistrial or anything like that. Not that I think mistrial was an option here from what I'm hearing from all the lawyer friends. And so her attorneys filed a motion to withdraw. That was granted. Her sentencing has been delayed. It could be by several months. And the next court hearing, which will be like a status update, will be on January 12th. Okay? So yesterday at that sentencing hearing, I've just made some bullet points for you because maybe you missed some of it, or maybe you're wondering where did this letter come from, because I saw some people during the stream yesterday asking about it. They said the recipient of this letter came home on Saturday, November 25th, 2023, and was notified through like a mail delivery system that they had set up. They were notified that something had been delivered, not via the postal service. She didn't know what to do, so she contacted her attorney from her previous cases, and they advised her to turn them into the sheriff's department. The letter was dropped off by the person whose name was on the receiving part of the folder at the Waukesha Sheriff's Department at 3 a.m. Damn, 3 a.m. on November 26th, 2023. So if they received them on the 25th, and then this person who seems to be named Jessica as well, because Jessy Kurczewski, if she wrote the letter, which I think she did, she wrote, "Dear Jessica," in this letter, okay? So this person must have been like, oh my word, I received this letter, I don't know what to do, reading all of it. It must have taken some time for her to first read it all and think, what the hell? And then call her attorney. Then she drove to the Waukesha County, the Sheriff's Department, and actually handed this in. That was 3 a.m., November 26th. The person was in the Waukesha County Jail for a brief amount of time with Jessy Kurczewski. I don't know when. We don't know the exact timeline of that. Jessy Kurczewski's obviously been in jail since July of 2019. Okay. Joe Mara, we did hear the 3 a.m. part yesterday. Yes, we did. It comes from that sentencing hearing. So that's why I make the bullet points in case you missed anything, right? Just to remind us of all these little details. So they said that person was actually present in the courtroom at the trial for 1 or 2 days of the trial. She also had video visits at the jail and has phone contact with Jessy at the jail. They said that's why they know that from jail calls. So she obviously was thinking she's supporting Jessy, she's being a friend, and Jessy, if she wrote this letter and what she asked her to do, took full advantage of that, which Jessy seems to use people from everything we've learned from her, right? Or learned about her. On Monday, November 27th of 2023, Detective Plennis emailed the state's 3 prosecutors, telling them about this letter. Detective Plennis confirmed with the postmaster that this letter did not go through the postal service. The envelope, though, they said, was folded in half. So they said, well, maybe it could have been mailed. So they're going to be investigating all of this now. I mean, could it have been mailed in another? Imagine if Jessy Kurczewski had it in another envelope and it was sent out, but it's a big letter. Can they send out 39 pages? I don't know about that. But if it was in an envelope, and then sealed with another envelope and then mailed to someone, and then that person took the first envelope off and dropped it off at the friend's house, I don't know, but it all still sounds quite sus. Someone who works at a jail also told me there's only 2 people that could have gotten this letter out without it going through the postal system. And they say one of her attorneys, or 2 would be someone who works at the jail. So that's interesting. I suppose yesterday people also speculating a 3rd option would be someone who got released like right then and there. Okay. So Joy here says the envelope had been folded, but the letter within had not been. So she reused someone's envelope, I think. Yeah, it could be that. It could be that as well. That sounds very, very plausible. So that is just a recap of what they told us yesterday about this letter. Just so that you know, when was it written? Jessy Kurczewski was found guilty. It was a unanimous verdict by the jury within 11 hours on November 14th. So she had between November 14th and then the 25th to write this letter. So I don't know if she took 10 days to write the letter or if she actually was starting to write it in the courtroom, because we saw her writing a lot during the trial. So yes, now what I'm going to do is, as you can see, this is the presentation that we looked at yesterday. Of course, I've highlighted a few things, but I'm going to actually show you the PDF version now. so that you can see the handwriting. Now, the homework, you're going to get Grizzly homework that I have for you, would be it's day 9 or 10 to check out if you want to see where, remember that FBI handwriting analyst was on the stand, and they actually showed a lot of exhibits of writing. They had very few of Lynn's writing. Lynn Hernan is the victim, of course, and she died on October 3rd of 2018 from an overdose of Visine, which is the main ingredient in eye drops. So Jessy was arrested, charged with murder, found guilty. She's convicted. It's just that her sentencing is delayed, which really doesn't actually change anything. You know, she's going to be sitting there at the jail. Sure, she's not going to prison yet, but this doesn't help her case at all. And she's going to be getting new attorneys. Okay, so the homework, if you want to check it out, would be to check out I think it was day 9 and 10, where they showed a whole bunch of exhibits of handwriting, just to see if it's similar to the writing that Jessy has in this letter. From what I've seen, it looks pretty damn similar, which to me means she wrote it. I just don't know how she thinks, like, who wrote it? If it's not her, who else wrote it? And who makes up stories like that? Yes, Stefan says Grizzly homework. Yes. So let me show you this. So again, thank you to Grizzly Cat for obtaining this PDF for us. It's actually quite difficult, you guys, because some courtrooms still use fax, like faxing. I don't know, people still fax, you know, I didn't know it. So they got to fax it to people. You either got to get a physical copy or they fax it. So it's been a bit of a mission, and there's always costs involved and things as well. Not always, but often. So I'm very, very grateful. Now this is 11/30/2023 at the top there, the 30th of November. Clerk of Circuit Court, Waukesha County, seal of Waukesha. You see there, Waukesha County Office of the District Attorney. You can see all the assistant district attorneys listed there. November 30th of 2023. The Honorable Judge Jennifer R. Dorrough. One of the best judges we've ever seen, don't you think? She is so patient. She handles all these things so well. Also, I'm already going to say, wish my voice box luck, because I've already been talking a lot to you guys today. Okay, deep breaths. So, Waukesha County Circuit Court, Branch 2, they say regarding the state of Wisconsin versus Jessy Kurczewski, court case number is there 2021 CF 000885. Dear Judge Dorrough, enclosed is a packet of 37 pages that are dated November 22nd and were received, so there, November 22nd is when it's dated, but the friend received it on November 25th. So if Jessy was found guilty on November 14th, maybe she wrote it within that week between the 14th and 22nd. Okay? Also, Jill says the envelope didn't have a stamp that you stick on. I do actually have that to show you. Before I read the rest of this. Wait for it. Where is it? Where's the envelope? There it is. There it is. Okay, this is the envelope. There's 2 stamps on it. 2 cats, which are still fine. It's just a commentary. Okay, I don't know. Maybe it means absolutely nothing. But Lynn Hernan, the victim, had 2 cats, and Jessy had them put down. So I'm just saying, like, damn, if she wrote this and if she could choose stamps. I don't know if you could choose it in jail. I probably think not. But damn, 2 cats as the stamps. And there it says November 22nd, 2023. This letter has been mailed from Waukesha County Jail. So it could be someone's used envelope, as you guys said earlier. Yeah, Bernil says the cat stamps. Yes. Now, I'm going to also just say, if anyone is going to comment, why do I have to interrupt or make commentary or put people's comments up because it's a live stream is my answer. And we've already done one round of this letter where I just read it. Okay? So this is the envelope, just so that you can see it. So here they say, the 37 pages are dated November 22nd and were received by the Waukesha County Sheriff's Department on November 26th of 2023. This packet of papers is comprised of Ms. Kurczewski's initial letter to the recipient. I'll zoom in more later when it's the letter, okay? It's actually perfectly zoomed in for that. So right now I'm not going to change it. It was comprised of Ms. Kurczewski's initial letter to the recipient, followed by many pages of instructions whereby Ms. Kurczewski asks and instructs the recipient how to create fraudulent documents, along with a fraudulent cassette tape recording. Again, I'm going to say, I think it's Jessy because she has fraud charges in her background. She has committed fraud over and over and over again in her life, even against her own mother. Mary Atkinson says the judge had no choice but to delay. She has to think about future appeals, but yes, it was a bummer. Yeah, shame. And I can't imagine how Lynn's family and friends feel. So they say the recipient received this packet of papers at her home and was disturbed by what Ms. Kurczewski was asking of her, and ultimately the recipient decided to turn them over to law enforcement. I really hope the friend doesn't feel bad, because I wonder what would have happened if the friend had waited for sentencing to be complete and then handed it in. You know, what would happen then? Would it be another investigation still? You know what I mean? I just hope the friend doesn't feel bad, because I think the friend did the right thing by turning this in. Okay, so the state wishes to point out that the original paperwork was double-sided, which is important to note as Your Honor reads through the papers, because Ms. Kurczewski's substantive instructions were written on the back of her own trial note pages from the recent trial held between October 23rd and November 14th of 2023. For example, pages 17 and 18 of this packet are the same, but for the exception of a post-it note that Ms. Kurczewski utilized as a means of showing the recipient where the recipient should place a fraudulent copy of a notary stamp on that document, which Jessy's done multiple times in her life and has been in and out of jail all her life for this stuff. Page 19 then is the reverse side of that same sheet of paper and contains Ms. Kurczewski's notes taken during trial. The same is true of pages 20 and 21, being the same, but for Ms. Kurczewski's instructions on where to place a fraudulent notary stamp, and page 22 being the reverse side of that paper containing Ms. Kurczewski's trial notes. This pattern continues throughout the remainder of the 37 pages. This is important to note because Ms. Kurczewski has now written new fraudulent letters purporting to be from Lynn Hernan, dated in 2016 and 2017, on the back of her paperwork from trial, which obviously occurred in 2023. These have all previously been provided to Ms. Kurczewski's attorneys. Very truly yours, Randy Sitzberger, the state prosecutor. Yes, okay, so. Barbara Jean says, in hindsight, I bet that friend is sorry she didn't throw the letter away. I mean, I guess that would be another option, right? Is to throw that letter away. Oh dear. Brenda says, I think the friend took the paperwork out with her when she was released, lied about how she got it to avoid trouble. Interesting. Lots of theories in chat here. We're discussing it here together, so yes, okay. And thank you, Gail. Your comment is very sweet. Now, here you can see again, that's why I wanted to show you the color picture of the envelope with the stamps. This is a PDF version of the document now, so you can still see the cats and the stamp and everything here that says it's mailed from November 22nd, 2023 from the Waukesha County Jail. Also, to those speculating that this friend maybe took it out with her, well, how would that be possible? Because the friend was at the trial, so she wasn't in jail. She was at the trial, right? So, from my understanding, if it really left the jail without being posted, then it would have to go through one of her attorneys or through someone who works at the jail. And the one problem I'm having, the red flag for me, is that Pablo Galaviz, one of Jessy Kurczewski's former attorneys, said he didn't want to really elaborate. He just said to the judge, no, he spoke to the ethics board and they advised him to just withdraw. That raises a red flag for me. And then also Donna Kuchler, when she, apparently there's actually some Grizzlies that were in the courtroom yesterday, and they said afterwards, when the media, interviewed people, which we didn't get to see, they asked Donna Kuchler, so was this your idea? And she said, no comment. Why? I mean, no comment, I get it, it's going to be a whole investigation, but if I were them, I'd be like, no. No, if it wasn't at all, if there's no involvement, if they didn't say this or do anything here, Just say no. Could be wrong, though. I'm not a lawyer, as you know. Now, okay, let me just check. Okay, we're there. This is how she wrote it. It says here 11/22. Janet says folded and smuggled in a very dark place. Oh no. Ew. The Haglin says, I don't think you can pass things and leave with items from a jail visit. No, apparently not. We've got some Grizzlies that have worked in jails, and they emailed and said, you can't. It would have to be either one of her attorneys or both attorneys. I don't know. Either one of the attorneys or someone who works at the jail. So, dear Jessica, and just don't get confused, Jessy Kurczewski, let's assume she wrote this letter because that seems like a very plausible assumption, wrote to this friend and she said, Dear Jessica. So I think her friend's name is Jessica. Okay. So, Dear Jessica, I wanted to thank you for being a friend through this crap. I mean that. Some days I feel so alone, and now even more so. I feel very selfish lately, and I hope I told you I'm sorry for your loss, your brother. I haven't asked either how you're doing or your kids. I hope all is well. I appreciate you coming for court and both your friends. Please tell them too. I don't know, Jess. This is just insane to me. I sit here day in, day out, reliving and replaying everything. Okay? I cannot spend the rest of my life locked away for something I didn't do. This isn't right. I mean, is she really in that much denial? Is it just something she keeps saying? She was convicted. It was a lot of circumstantial evidence. But I mean, she kind of sunk her own ship, especially from those police interviews. Thank you so much, Miss Holmes. You say the lawyer you know said that when the ethics com tells you to withdraw, you do it. But what did he tell them that happened? You know what I mean? What's the information that made that recommendation? Like, you have to withdraw. Like, okay. So then, I just want to quickly address this. As I say, we are discussing things tonight. Happy Friday to you. Thank you for being here for a live stream. And I'm going to put up comments and talk to you guys tonight, and we're going to go over this. It might take a while. So Joy said, I think someone that was in the jail with her, and she talked them into it because they were getting out, leaving they're allowed to take belongings. It just, that timing would have to be impeccable. You know what I mean? Someone getting out. I mean, I don't know if Jessy really makes a lot of friends. I'm not sure, you know, in jail. And for someone in that very week to get out, I don't know. My guess would be more one of her attorneys or her mailing it out somehow to someone and then them dropping it off at the house. You never know. Okay. So they say, she's still saying, something I didn't do. This isn't right. I wish I had the jury names. I so want to reach out. Shame. The jury's probably like, oh, no. She said, I'm losing my mind about this. If I'm honest, I don't know how much more I can take. I've waited 4.5 years for this to be made right. And it got 10 times worse, not better. I don't want to be here anymore, said everyone ever at a jail. Especially Donna Adelson, right? But still, everyone at a jail, who wants to be there? She says, I don't want to be here anymore. I'm so strong in my faith, but right now I can't even open my Bible. I don't understand. I can't go a day without breaking down at my new reality, staring at these walls. I keep thinking of all the things I won't ever do or have. The hardest ones is not being able to see my grandparents before they pass and not being able to have kids. I'm glad I don't with all this, but by far, that one I get super emotional about. It's what I always wanted. Then there's my mom I worry about. Then there's my mom I worry about. She's got nobody left. She would have taken her life long ago, but I needed her. Okay. Yeah. Mrs. Melissa says, maybe she should have thought about that when she was planning her crime. Snarky much, right? And who knows? If she ever, I'm just saying, if she ever poisoned anyone else, how do we know? Okay, so she said she's struggling. She's talking about her mom now. She's struggling with all of this and blaming herself because she couldn't deal with Lynn anymore. So I stepped up to help Lynn daily. Why did she say she couldn't deal with Lynn anymore? Jessy, the hero, she stepped up. Stepped up. I think it would be more like she offered, like, I'll help. I'll take over. And then she spent all of Lynn's money. And she bought laptops. She bought sneakers for her boyfriend's kids. She bought an entire new bedroom set, beds and all. For her boyfriend, they were like, what? And even for her boyfriend's ex-wife. Wasn't it a dozen roses and then a spa voucher or something? It was like crazy gifts, Bought everyone drinks at the bar. She was just absolutely milking Lynn's bank accounts. Because remember, she had 3 charges. 2 were financial crimes, and the one was the murder charge. And she was found guilty on all of them. Okay. So she said she's struggling with all of this and blaming herself because she couldn't deal with Lynn anymore. So I stepped up to help Lynn daily when she stopped and because she couldn't testify. But her mom has not been there since Jessy was found guilty. She wasn't there yesterday at the sentencing hearing. The actual sentencing is still to take place in the future, maybe summer 2024. We'll see what they say on January 12th and how it goes now. It could be delayed by several months. Yes, Amy Lee, the trial notes are still on it and we will be going over it. So they say here, she still writes. I'm just putting my cursor here so you can see generally where we are. I hope it helps. Okay. Carol Clark says, buying friendships. Yes, exactly. We had a pact. If things went wrong like this, we were both checking out. Now, again, I say notice the language of checking out because when she pretends to be Lynn in one of these, as part of this package of what she's telling her friend to say on the cassette tape, she also uses the language of checking out. And, if you've ever watched Peter Hyatt, he's a statement analyst, very good, on YouTube. Yeah, things like that stand out when it's the same language being used. I'm trying to fight and hang on, but it's so hard. I feel I'm fighting a lost cause. This country is so crooked, it's not even funny. You should see just what I've uncovered in Discovery. Since trial ended, that they lied on the stand about. I mean, why would she have only discovered it now? She only had 5 years, to prepare for this trial with her attorneys, even though she's a little bit of a Sarah Boone. She's gone through quite a lot of attorneys and even more now. I've lost count, actually. I think she's had like 6 attorneys now. Sounding very Sarah Boone-ish, isn't it? If you don't know about the Sarah Boone case, I have a playlist for that too if you want to check that out. And I think we've done one deep dive and a couple of shorts so far, and we'll take it from there. We haven't gone over her letters yet, except on a members only stream. I showed one letter. So what has she suddenly discovered or found or uncovered in Discovery since the trial ended? She says that they lied on the stand about. It's so wrong. So I talked with one of my attorneys about stuff in person, and I got a biggie for you to ask of you. First off, this is big. I trust you, and whether you help me or not, this is something I need you to take to your grave. Even this envelope didn't go out through jail mail. My attorney took it. So while the state said, well, that could just be another baseless thing that Jessy Kurczewski says, it could be. But the fact that the letter didn't, the investigators, Detective Plenner said it didn't leave, the postmaster confirmed this wasn't sent through the normal mail. And Jessy saying this is yet another red flag for this whole situation. She says, my attorney took it. This was one of my attorney's ideas, and clearly they aren't going to tell anyone. I will never tell a soul. You could tell someone if it's to ask for help, only if you trust them. And if you aren't comfortable, I'm going to give you another person's address and send it to them with directions, please. You see how she just ropes someone into this? There's absolutely no regard for the other person. She's already giving conditions that lock this person into what they're going to do. So if you don't want to do this for me, then I'm going to send you an address and you're going to get someone else to do this for me. You know what I mean? The other thing is that Jessy obviously could have just thrown her attorneys under the bus by saying this crap in this letter, just in case this letter comes out, because I think she's someone that might plan for, in the unlikely event that this letter gets out, I'm going to say it was my attorneys, you know? Tanya Hanks says the jail does not go through your things on the way out the door. I think they're supposed to, aren't they? Wow, okay. Well, I've had different stories now. People who work in jails in that state say that you can't take things out. And we've got people in chat saying the jail does not go through your things on the way out the door. So I don't know which one it is at this jail. But if anyone could just walk out with anything, well, then it really could be anyone who visited her. Okay, so she said, as I say, she's locked her into the situation just with her language. So either way, do not talk about it on phone or visit. You can say, I got your letter. If you can do it, just say, yes, I want you to send me a visiting form when you get to TCI. Thank you to everyone that said in chat yesterday and emailed that TCI is the Taichida, hope I'm saying it right, Correctional Institute, or, TCI is the jail. So thank you so much for that. And if not, then say you need that address for my friend, and I'll figure out who Plan B is and give you a name and address to forward it to. Isn't it interesting how she says who Plan B is? She's ready to use anyone she can. Not like, oh, I have to figure out what Plan B is. Like, oh man, she's like, who's going to be Plan B? The parasite, the spineless creature is eyeing who she's going to take advantage of. She's like, look, man, if I can't take advantage of you, I'm going to figure out who Plan B is. It just sounds like the language of someone who would use people. So she said, I know that all sounds cryptic. Now the SP question mark is spelling. I know that all sounds cryptic because it is. LOL, which is obviously laugh out loud. We are trying to make a stir. Now, why does she say we are trying to make a stir? We. Who's we? Her and her attorneys? Is that what she's talking? Is she trying to say? And she could just be saying it. I still say she could just be saying we. Are trying to make a stir. A big stir. To show just how wrong things are. But I need help because there's only so much I can do in here. First, you need to know I did not kill Lynn. Nor did I assist. Nor did I ever steal a dime from her. Ever. Now, again, that's language she'll repeat when she's pretending to be Lynn, this whole stealing a dime from, I didn't take a dime from. I know it's a common expression, but Jessy sure uses that language a lot, including in the police interviews, which we got to see through the trial. If you missed those, you'll see on the thumbnails, on the playlist, it says police interview. And it actually has arrows pointing to her in the police interview. So I think there's about three of those live streams that include police interviews. Because she had 6 police interviews, willingly, without asking for an attorney, and changed her story every time. Just sipping water in between to protect my voice as much as possible. So she said, even my old charges, I mean, they're not old charges, they're current charges that she faced and was found guilty of. But here she said my old charges are that. But maybe she's referring to her old charges, the fraud charges that she had before. Okay? Meaning, she said, I did not kill Lynn, nor did I assist, nor did I ever steal a dime from her. So I'm thinking when she says my old charges, She's talking about the previous criminal charges of fraud that she has on her record. Her rap sheet is pretty long, and it's all about fraud and forgery. And she says, my old charges are that. Old, dumb, young. I don't know how they could be old and young, but I think she means the charges are old, and she was dumb and young. All right. See, Jenny says, prepare yourself if you're going to watch those videos, though. Yeah. Yes, prepare yourself. If you have never seen those police interviews, brace yourself. Then she says, love ya, Jessy, and thank you for everything. Okay. Now, directions. Let's quickly see. Amy Lee said, my very uneducated opinion is JK, so Jessy Kurczewski, and possibly her lawyers came up with a delay so that at time for JK or someone else could falsify evidence on the off chance she would be granted a mistrial. I really think it's too late for that, right? Yeah, you guys are also saying prior charges. Okay, so directions. Now she's directing the friend, so she's buttered her up real nice. I know this plan did not work. The friend went straight to the police, right? The friend called her attorney and then went to the police. But now she's buttered her up by being like, oh, I hope you're well. I hope your kids are well. Thank you so much for everything. You know, I feel so sorry for myself. I can't believe I'm locked away. I didn't steal a dime from her. I'm completely innocent. I didn't murder Lynn. So she's sold a little story and now she's ready to give the directions, right? She says, directions. This is what I need. Do you remember hearing about the park, Whitnell Park, where I buried things? That was 100% true. The difference is 6 months later or so. I regularly went on a walk there, daily. That area was prone to flooding and the bag was sticking out one day, so I dug it out and ended up throwing away. Only one person knows that, my attorney. She never says like my attorneys. She's very close with one of her attorneys, right? Now what I quickly want to show you here is, stand by, this one. Remember this one? It's from which day? Day 10. This is from day 10. I just want to show you this little clip here quickly so that you could see the crap she's talking. It's timestamped for you as well. Double G. It's timestamped for you. And this is at 2 hours and 55 minutes where she actually talks about this bag that she buried, claiming that she buried a baggie with a piece of a gun in, with Visine bottles that were dated and all kinds of paperwork and crap, just in case she needed it one day to prove her innocence, which, what normal person does that? Like, what is she talking about? She didn't keep it in like a safe, or anyway, she buried it where she says her bunny was buried. So I'm just going to show you a little snippet of this. Came over to her. She was like, no, no, no. I said it.
Women, you won't find it without you.
It's hidden. Done. Hidden.
I thought you said it was a storage shed. Jessy.
I never gave you specifics.
You said it was a storage shed. You said a storage shed. You said a storage shed, not in my name.
Because I didn't want to give you all the information. Why? I told you I was holding it for a reason. That's why I'm...
What a load of... Double G time again. Yeah, what a load of BS. So just there, she's like, no, 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 don't say storage yet. And she changed her story, and she talks here on day 10 of the trial. It's all timestamped for you, as I say, in the pinned comments description box, hover over the video, exactly where she talks about this bag that she supposedly buried, which is just, what a wild story that was, right? I mean, what is she going on about there? Also, Molly, Colleen said, I think her mom and her mom's boyfriend are helping her. Remember how her mom stormed out of court? I do remember that. And we haven't seen her since. So that's also interesting. And that mom's boyfriend was supposedly the mom's friend/boyfriend, was on the stand, and we all took it, majority of us were like, this guy is lying. I wouldn't actually put it past them. I know it's not nice to say, but I mean, it's not nice what's happened here either. This is not justice for Lynn yet, and her family and friends are hurting, and over here we protect victims and their family and friends. So, I mean, this delay, they're going to investigate, and who knows? People are already speculating, what if Jessy's mom, will she also be arrested for any financial crimes or for anything? Who knows? if it turns out that she had any involvement in this letter. Wow. So again, let's just continue. She goes on about this bag. She says, I dug it out and ended up throwing away. Only one person knows that, my attorney. Everyone else believes it's in the park or never was. It was part of the gun. I mean, why would she put part of the gun in there? Why? Her stories make no sense whatsoever. Only she could come up with all of this and think it's all like perfectly pieced together. It's all in her mind. You know? Not very mentally healthy at all. Stating the obvious. Okay. So, they say here, and she says everyone else believes it's in the park. I don't know about that. Who's that? So she said it was part of the gun, Visine bottles that Lynn had dated from her mom's death. So now not only does Jessy want people to believe that she's going to make a baggie, like a Ziploc baggie type. She's going to make a baggie with part of a gun and then also these like Visine bottles that are dated. So she's going to prepare her in the unlikely event that I am found guilty. Ta-da! Here's my baggie to prove my innocence. But she's saying that Lynn is also part of that type of thinking and preparation because she says these are Visine bottles that Lynn had dated from her mom's death. I never told anyone that. And later in this letter, she tells everyone, like she did in the police interviews, that Lynn murdered her own mother by poisoning her with Visine. Meanwhile, never forget that Jessy Kurczewski had a PDF document that she deleted from her phone, and that PDF document had household poisons on it. Visine was part of it, cyanide, all kinds of stuff that she was looking up to poison someone. So that's pretty scary, right? Wow. Keith says, can you imagine Jennifer Dorrow as a prosecutor? Yes, she apparently once was one. Yeah, she'd be amazing. And she's an amazing judge, right? Eileen said at the press conference, the attorney said her mom was under investigation, watch for charges. Where? Which press conference? What? Can you send me a link? Did we see that? I didn't see any press conference. I know there were people there that saw the media talking to the attorneys, but I didn't see it. If you got it, please send it to grizzlytruecrime@gmail.com. Anyway, so she continues on here. I never told anyone that. Notarized papers of hers and a cassette, again spelling tape, old school voice reading of Lynn. She doesn't say voice recording of Lynn. She says voice reading of Lynn, which is interesting. All confession stuff that I kept hidden and quiet. Confession stuff. What? I don't know if I ever told you about Lynn's mom, or if you heard when Donna, who's Donna Kuchler, her attorney, tried to bring it up in court and the judge shot it down. The state requested her mom's records but never turned them over. While I was in prison in 2013, Lynn's mom died. She gave her Visine in her tea. When she cut her out of her will, when she found out, her mom, she was stealing her money. Her mom died. She got dizzy and fell down the stairs. No autopsy was done. Sorry, what? Can you believe like the level that Jessy would go to not only, and she was found guilty of murder Lynn Hernan, steal all her money, betray her to the highest degree, and sell off all her stuff as if it meant nothing. Her special bracelet, pawn it off, just go to the pawn shop, get as much as you can for it. And kill both of Lynn's cats. But that's not enough for Jessy. She'll even write a letter like this saying that Lynn, the victim, is a murderer. That Lynn, the victim, stole from her mother, the way that Jessy stole from Lynn and everybody else. The projection is real. If you read the room here, this is Jessy Kurczewski projecting like you've never seen. She really needs a mirror. She needs a mirror. I know it'll be a plastic one in jail, but she needs to look into that mirror. Face reality. Face herself. Pernille says, I hereby say, bull spit. So she says, but she was always afraid. I didn't know this until after Lynn's passing. That's why she gave money away. It haunted her. Oh, yeah, right. So, Jessy, you wrote yourself a lot of checks. You stole all of Lynn's money, hundreds of thousands of dollars, from the inheritance that Lynn got from her mother. Okay? Jessy spent all of it. And now she's saying, I didn't know why she was giving all this money away. Basically, I just took, according to her theory. Yeah, right. And just blew it. Didn't save it, didn't care for it, just absolutely blew it. She also, Jessy Kurczewski, has a gambling problem. She has a gambling addiction. She gambled it away. She spent it. There was zero respect even for the money that she says she received from Lynn. Thank you, J. Ray. J. Ray says I look nice in this color. Thank you so much. Oh, this we saw, yes. Yeah. I saw this. Kerry said the presser was post-conviction. We did watch that together. There's a stream for that. And Judge Dora was both prosecutor and defense at different times before becoming judge. Yes, and that press conference, okay, we're well aware of that. And they did say, well, will there be other charges? I don't think they said her mother is being investigated. They just implied that there could be other charges, right? So, wow. They would be pretty nervous right now, right? If it's her mother. Oh, my word. And if she's involved in this letter, wow. She's going to be shaking in her boots right now. Maybe she's lurking. Hi. Hope he didn't have anything to do with this, because this is terrible. And this does not help Jessy's case whatsoever. It just delayed her sentencing. And maybe she'll be charged with something else, or maybe this will really get the cuffs on some other people. Okay, so she said also how and why she started drinking it. Drinking it, meaning Visine. First was to die, but it didn't happen. She'd been drinking for months. Well, Jessy, she was very ill from 2015. From the moment that you entered her life and started taking care of her, Lynn got very, very sick. Okay, so now she's like, yeah, no, she had been drinking for months. I didn't know till the end, but it numbed her pain. She's saying that Visine and alcohol numbed her pain and helped her sleep. She was an insomniac, and Xanax, which she doesn't even spell right. One would think she would. Okay, it's X, right? Xanax. Wasn't helping her to sleep anymore. Okay, sorry, it's complicated. Yes. And I'm at blame because I didn't save the stuff. So now she's telling her friend, I'm to blame, not for the murder, not for stealing all of Lynn's money. I'm at blame because I didn't save that little baggie that I said I buried in a park, in Whitnall Park, where when I was younger, I buried my bunny there. That place. Yeah. So what I need you to do, friend, is recreate that baggie. That's what she's saying. Kerry says the letter Jessy submitted to Judge Doro yesterday in court was 25 pages long. I wonder what that said. Yes, and we are busy working on obtaining that letter. And if we obtain it today sometime, because of course I'm, 7 hours ahead of Waukesha, Wisconsin time. So what's the time? Okay, Friday. They might already be sort of closing soon. If we get it today, maybe we'll look at it tomorrow. Let's see when we get it. Maybe we'll get it next week. But when we get it, we will go over it, okay? The 25-page letter that Jessy Kurczewski wrote to Judge Doro. Can you imagine what that's going to say? And let me say this. If this letter is 37 pages of writing, and then the letter to Judge Doro is 25 pages, does Jessy Kurczewski not realize that normal people aren't sitting there? I'm not saying if you write letters, long letters, it doesn't mean you're not normal. I'm saying convicted criminals now, a murderer, is not sitting there. They're not on average writing 37-page letters, 25-page letters. If these letters are long, the writing looks similar. We'll look at that writing when we get it. We saw some other writings before. This woman writes like nobody's business. So if she was going to write to Judge Doro, I think she should have made it like a 4-page letter. That would have been out of character, if you know what I'm saying. To write this, deny writing it, and then write a letter almost this long. Like, hello, Jessy, hello. That really just points at you. You did it, Jessy. Okay. So she said, sorry, it's complicated, and I'm at blame because I didn't save the stuff. But at the time, what I What did I need it for? Well, I don't know. You buried it because you thought it's your backup. It was your system of redundancy, right? A confession that you buried, apparently, allegedly, in a baggie. That investigators went out there. Investigators went out there, you guys, a few times. Even at one point, having a video call, Skype or Zoom or whatever it was, with Jessy, who was sitting in the jail, directing them where to dig. They dug that whole park up as much as they could and didn't find a baggie. Okay? So now she says, let's just put the cursor where I'm at. What did I need it for? And I didn't want anyone knowing what I found out. So here's what I'm trying to do. Recreate that stuff. She had to tell the backstory to get the friend to do this. Like, here's what I want you to do now. Recreate this. She said, I did what I could. I wrote up the letters, will, etc., and I signed all names, dates, etc. I need someone to look online for a notary stamp. Not to buy. There are places that will show you finished product. You input name on what it should say, and you can copy and paste. You may need to look at a few, but they have when you can new sample. I don't know why suddenly she can't speak English in that sentence. It's quite odd, right? Damn. Noto37 says Jessy was thinking of the Xanaflex that she crushed on that plate, not Xanax. Ooh, okay. Just follow along here. Okay. So, I mean, why does she talk like that all of a sudden? Now she's speaking like a computer. Is this AI? Did AI write this? She might as well say it's AI that wrote this. It will be more believable than I didn't write it. So then she says, you may need to look at a few, but they have when you can use sample. Then you could take the pages I wrote, copy them a few times, make a little lighter. Then line up for notary and print more notary around angle, turn so forth so it's not lined up perfectly. Make it look good. Yes, I used to make documents for people. Sounds crazy, but true. I was good at it. We know, Jessy, with all those fraud and forgery charges. Yeah, we know she was good at it. She did it to Lynn also. Oh, word. What an incriminating letter, honestly. She says, those bank ones were Lynn's doing. I didn't make those mistakes. Anyway, sorry. Then when done, copy the whole page again so it's a full copy. Not original. So nobody knows the notary seal wasn't a real stamp. All I need is 2 different names for notary. One on 1 page and the other one on 3 pages. These are real people who worked at her bank years ago who actually notarized papers on these set dates. And I have those other papers here with the signature dates. That's how I did this. Okay. Explained. Oh, sorry. Let's just go. That's how I did this. Yeah. I just need the notary and copies, please. Explained with the pages. Now there's one more part I'm trying to get with that. Oh, we're going a step further now. Dear friend, can you just forge things? But also there's this one other thing I want you to do. And guys, buckle up because now it gets really crazy. If you already heard this letter, you know. But damn. She says she wants her to do this. I can't do anything on the Visine bottles because those bottles are way too old that none in stores would match. And the gun piece, they know she had bought, so it doesn't matter. It's the cassette tape. So she's like, if you're going to recreate this baggie, just screw the gun piece and never mind about the Visine bottles, but the cassette tape. I need to see if someone would make a voice tape. So instead of saying, can you make me a voice tape? She's feeling a little awkward about asking this clearly because she's like, I need to see if someone would make a voice tape. I know this is crazy. Okay, at least she acknowledges this is crazy. This is such a crazy plan. Oh my word, she says, I know this is crazy, but I gotta try. It's worth it because it's my life. If I could, I would. I'm sure you would, Jessy. They would suspect my mom. That's why I can't have her. Now do tell, why would they suspect your mom? You mean they know your mom's voice? They're like, they don't know your voice. You do it. So then she says, nobody has her voice on recording. She has an older, raspy smoker's cough and was sick. Female voice. always coughing and smoking. I feel like there's programs online to change voices. There's so much technology these days. I hate to think what Jessy's done in the past with this knowledge that she has of this crap that she does, right? She said she was sick. She was sick and did it 2 days before her death. She's trying to say that she would have recorded this 2 days before her death. And it's weird how she's writing this in present tense now. She changes tenses quite a lot in this letter. That's also interesting. So she says she did it 2 days before her death. Nobody's going to know if it's her or not. It's been 5 years. Her ex-boyfriend will know. Anthony Poser will know. Corinne Poser will know. All of her friends and family will know. Amy Short, who's also a family who was here in chat with us throughout this trial, will know. So why does she say, no one's going to know? It's been 5 years. People know Lynn's voice. People that know Lynn will know her voice. And they'll know when someone's faked it. Jessy's so crazy. Oh, my word. She says, and I have the wording for that recording. So not only can you make a recording and try to sound like Lynn, and can you say the following? She's like, I have the wording for it. I've written you a script, friend. But it gets worse. She says, honestly, you could even have a movie or music on in the background to help distract. To help distract. Right. She always had one on and loud. I would just be cautious that it's music. She loved Gaga. So Lady Gaga, right? Or a movie from before her death if you do that. So that it doesn't raise a red flag. Okay, so the voice not actually being Lynn's, that's not what's going to raise the red flag. No. Someone taking Visine to take their own life, that's not raising the red flag. The way the scene was staged, in hindsight they knew this, with pills all over Lynn's body. When she was actually poisoned with Visine, no. Jessy, that's not the red flag. The red flag will be if this friend plays a movie that's more recent. So she's like, be careful now. She says, like Pretty Woman, Miss Doubtfire. It's Mrs. Doubtfire, okay? Wizard of Oz. She underlines, Wizard of Oz would be ideal. Her favorite. And when Jessy later in this letter, this whole package, pretends to be Lynn, she says, I'm going to follow the yellow brick road to join my dad, in the next realm. So there she's referencing the Wizard of Oz. She's like, the Wizard of Oz. I need to use that later in a letter. She said, would be ideal. Her favorite. Now, what do you think? Hold on. Think about it, please. Jessy, control freak lady, I don't think you need to tell your friend, hold on, think about it, please. I think she thought about it long and hard and was panicking. She called her attorney and then went straight to the sheriff's department. But she's like, now what do you think? Feedback. Can you forge these letters? And would you mind making a voice recording and trying your level best to sound like Lynn? I've described it for you, okay? And then just play these movies on in the background. Who would do this? And she's asking someone who's already been in jail before. Why would that person do this? Ever? You know what I mean? That person is out of jail. Probably, of course, never wants to go back. So to be like, oh, of course, I'll help you out, man. And we already know when you're making friends in jail, those aren't your friends. They'll snitch on you in a second. I almost want to say dumbass. Dumbass for Jessy. They will snitch on you like that. We saw one of the friends, one of the inmates, on the witness stand. Oh my word, Jessy's plan is so dumb. And how do we know all this? Remember, Letitia Stark wrote a letter saying that she measured the window and she's going to break that little window with a broomstick and she's going to escape that way. And she gave this letter to her friend, one of the inmates. That friend just turned on her like that, man. They always do. Hasn't she ever watched like World's Toughest Prisons? Hey, even Orange is the New Black. Just watch something. Oh, Jessy, on my word. So she said, now, what do you think? Hold on. Think about it, please. Okay, things you'd need. So now she's going to give her a list. And there's no bullet points. There's a couple of dashes. We don't like those. We like bullet points, okay? Things you'd need: computer, paper, envelopes, stamps, address labels, cassette, old school, cheap ones, able to record voice. What you'd need: able to record voice. Gloves, must, if you help. At this point, Jessy is doubting that this person will help. At this point, Jessy should have torn up her letter and never sent this out. Rather just be sentenced and then with your attorneys file an appeal like a normal criminal. Yeah, I'm reading your comments, you guys. Tiff says she thinks she's brilliant. Yes, she thinks this plan is epic. Forensic Fuhrer says friends in low places. So now she says gloves must, if you help. Make sure you wear gloves, because you are not getting in trouble. You're helping me. Jessy, by her helping you, it would get her in trouble. You're already getting everyone else in trouble. Your attorneys withdrew over this. And she's like, you're just helping me. You're not going to get in trouble. No, I think anyone who helps Jessy is going to be in cuffs. They're going to be in big, big trouble. Everybody don't help Jessy. I feel sorry for her new attorney, whoever that may be. She said, when it's done, which I need ASAP, before December 7th, sentencing, the sooner the better. Now, if Jessy's implying that someone else wrote this letter, who? Okay, so she needs it the sooner the better. If there is an easy way, and if possible, I'd like copies of the tape. But if it's too much or hard, just one is fine. So she also wants to hear it. Just let me hear it. I want to hear what you do. I want to hear what you come up with. Let's see your work, friend. Go ahead now. Put Wizard of Oz in the background and start recording. Oh, wow. And send me a copy. Then she says, anything you buy. And here we go, guys. There's always a Walmart in every case. It just is. I don't know why. I know they're everywhere. But there isn't like always a McDonald's in every case. You know what I mean? There's not always a Home Depot. Or always a Target. We never hear of Target in these cases. So many cases. There's a freaking Walmart. Anyway, so they say anything you buy, do at a store. Not in Waukesha. And with cash at like Walmart. Self-checkout. That's me being extra careful. Yes, Jessy, a mastermind. She is such a great risk assessor. Not. Hear the sarcasm, okay? In case someone doesn't get, if you're new here and you don't understand my sarcasm yet. She's like, that's me being extra careful. Oh, wow. You're being extra careful while asking your friend to commit fraud? Wow. And just record Lynn's voice and say that she was suicidal? I mean, no. She says the finish goal is to get finished letters and tape mailed to Judge Doro. If there's more, to others too. If not, just a basic letter to others. Attorney Donna Kugler, Attorney Pablo Galvez, which is Galvez, but okay, Galvez, Waukesha DA's office, TMJ News 4, CBS News 58, ABC News 12. The Wisconsin Attorney General Josh, I think it's Kaul, Court TV, Fox 6 News, Tony Evers, Governor. 11 people total with judge. Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 with judge. Okay, 11. She counted right. I do not see Grizzly True Crime mentioned there, and I am offended. Imagine if she listed it there. I'll be like, wait, what? Don't do that. Don't do that. Imagine if she's like TMJ News 4, CBS News 58, ABC News 12, Grizzly True Crime, Court TV. And we'll be like, what? No. She's like, you need to get this out to all the outlets. Because I don't see many people cover this trial, right? Yeah. Stefan, just don't send the cassette to Grizzly True Crime. They were not nice to me during the trial. That's probably how we got disqualified, Stefan. We were not nice to her. She says, for everyone and judge, to whom it may concern. Now, she makes a star there and says, sample. Something like that. Don't say who you are, just a concerned citizen. Just this random concerned citizen. So now, again, recap, she's asked her friend, forge things. Okay, forge some documents, make like little notary stamps, print and print and print, make it lighter, lighter, lighter so they don't know it's like fake. Forge documents, create a voice recording pretending to be Lynn, pretending to be suicidal. And now the third request comes in of this freaking letter. Now she wants her to what? Write a letter? To whom it may concern regarding Jessy Kurczewski Visine trial. Now, no one else on earth has called it the Visine trial, not that I saw. It's the I drop murder trial or I drops murder trial. Like Law and Crime called it the I drop murder trial thing, and Court TV said I drops murder trial. And then there's the Jessy Kurczewski trial. She's like Visine trial. Oh my word, okay. Lillian Blake said, Grizzly, I can't wait for the deflap coverage of the state of Wisconsin. Ooh, versus Jennifer Flower. That's her mom, you guys. We'll be there for it. If that happens, we're there for it. Absolutely. So, and I hope it's Judge Doro if that happens. Okay, so now look at this freaking letter she wants her friend to write, is what I'm gathering. She says, I have watched this trial from the beginning. Now remember, this is from a concerned citizen. And she wants this concerned citizen to flex some double-digit IQ. I've watched this trial from the beginning. I never met this girl, Jessy Kurczewski. Well, what I can tell you is this story is crazy. You bet. Anybody who has a brain cell, anybody who has a brain can tell you. Oh, a brain. I thought you said it's brain cell. That would be so funny. A brain cell. It should be a brain cell. A brain. Anyone who has a brain can tell you this girl didn't do that. And what those jurors didn't hear or what the judge didn't allow makes no sense. I mean, this is written like as if it's a teenager talking. Which is pretty much how Jessy's brain works. I don't think she really developed beyond the teenage years. I mean, just imagine... I think she's imagining, like, what would this concerned citizen be like? Okay, she's got to be like so I'm not insulting LA people. I just know when people say like an LA girl, I'm South African living in the Netherlands. I've seen movies, and when they say like an LA girl, there's a certain like stigma, right? So it's almost like, I have watched this trial from the beginning. I never met this girl, Jessy Kurczewski. I mean, why is it girl as well? That's my pet peeve, when you're calling a grown-ass woman a girl. I think Jessy's my age. And I'm almost 40. So she says, anyone who has a brain can tell you this girl didn't do that. We all have a brain, and we could tell she did. Which means she's busy already condescending anyone who thinks she did it. Okay. Anyone who has a brain can tell you this girl didn't do that. What is that? Okay. And what those jurors didn't hear or what the judge didn't allow makes no sense. You're talking about, she never says you're. It's always you're talking about. This is another pet peeve. Y-O-U apostrophe R-E. You're talking about this girl's whole life because Lynn took her own life. How is that murder? This was a total setup. If I ever saw on, which I think she means one. This was a total setup. If I ever saw one by Waukesha County. A setup. Okay. Well. I spent 3 days in the park. Oh my word. So she wants this concerned citizen to say that this concerned citizen she watched the trial. She heard about this park and she went there. She spent 3 days in the park. Why the detectives never took her to the park? They yelled at her repeatedly about not wanting, which was scratched out, about not understanding why she wouldn't tell them if she had evidence. So she does, and they don't even take her with them? Again, are you serious? You see what I'm saying? Yeah. Jay says it's like Legally Blonde wrote this letter for her. Yeah, and Stefan says, well. I can't even fathom how a jury convicted her on what? Murder and fraud ×2? Lies. Really? That doesn't make you a murderer. Ah, okay. At least she herself in this character she's playing admits she's a murderer, right? A liar. She admits she's a liar. She says, so lies. Really? That doesn't make you a murderer. Is she going to be on Making a Murderer? Point being, after digging around for 3 days, I found her evidence. and sent the tape cassette plus papers to the judge in this case. Doro. The bottles of Visine and piece of gun have no bearing, so I didn't include. But this girl is to be sentenced to life for a crime that never happened and that she didn't do. I enclosed a copy of letters for you, but what I want to know is, what are you going to do about this? What are you going to do about this? You know what's odd is it says to whom it may concern, but throughout this part of this package, when it's the concerned citizen writing, she's directly addressing someone. It sounds like she's saying it at the judge, right? She's like, are you serious? And she says, I want to know, what are you going to do about this? So now we're on page 12 of 39. You see, you got a way to go. She said, burn, destroy all papers when done. Listen, Jessy, Roberta Laundrie will teach you that the correct phrase is burn after reading. Yes. She said, do not talk about on phone or visit. Make only one tape for Doro, the judge, if you can copy the other pages for everyone and her too. Send letters and a letter to Government Evers. See, this is the third request. First forge documents, then make a cassette, then write this letter and forward the letter to all these people. Governor Evers, Attorney Donna Kuchler, Attorney Pablo Galaviz. Now she could spell his surname there. WI Attorney General Josh Kaul. Court TV, 1258 6 and 4, news stations. Waukesha DA's office. Stefan says, now I'm hearing the Mission Impossible music. Then she says, in big writing now, look at that. Wear gloves for all. This is my fight and chance to stir the pot early. Early? Why did she say early? But she says, this is my fight and chance not to prove my innocence. This is my fight and chance to prove I didn't do this. This is my fight and chance to... There's so many things she could have said. But she said, this is my fight and chance to stir the pot. That's very telling. Then she says, will you help me? Question mark. I will never say a word, and I will give you a chunk of money. Where are you getting the money, Jessy? Do tell. Where are you getting this chunk of money? Who are you victimizing next? Sorry, I have questions. Says, wear gloves for all. Subtle. Yeah, very, very subtle. So, by the way, guys, if you are not a Grizzly True Crime member, this is a good preview of what we do sometimes on members only. Normally this type of vibe is a members only one where we look at things like this and we snark it up a bit. I'm trying not to too much, but it's quite hard. This letter is quite ridiculous. So if you enjoy this and you're considering becoming a member, you might want to. We look at lots of other true crime cases and sometimes we unpack this, like we did Sarah Boone's letter. One of the letters. You're shouting at Matt Johnson from Court TV. Yes, in the last members only stream. So if you are a member and you joined recently, go check out that last member stream. Okay, it's on the playlist. Now she says, I'll never say a word. I'll give you a chunk of money if or when I get out. Because it's a big favor. And if not, I understand. Really. Do you understand? She takes it to the police though. So tape recording to record. Now, you thought it was already crazy. Oh no, you guys. This is what she wants her friend. She wants her to get a tape recorder. Old school. Press click, record, and say, Jessy, I'm sorry to leave you like this. And I'm assuming you'll be the one to find me. After all of you've done for me. All the times you saved my life. Please. Also, Lynn wasn't wearing pants when she was found. Do you really think, Jessy, that Lynn would want you to find her like that? I don't think so. Sure, this is just unbelievably disrespectful to the victim, like the highest degree of disrespect to the victim who was murdered with an overdose of eye drops, Visine. Okay, so she said, yeah, so actually someone says, the Heather says, I haven't seen those in years. Can you guys still buy them? I haven't seen them in years. I wouldn't even know where to. If someone asked me this, I would never consider it, number one. But two, If I was like, where would one buy that anyway? I have no idea. Oh my word, Stefan says, you have to press the record and play button at the same time to record. She should have given those instructions. How will this friend know? So she said, now she wants her friend to pretend to be Lynn. Are you gathering? That's what's happening here. Okay, so all the times you saved my life. I know if it wasn't for you, I would have been dead months ago. You have been my rock. You're stronger than anyone I know. And now I need you to take care of your mom. For I know you did all you could to keep me alive as long as you could. Never mentions the cats in any of these letters, huh? And that's all that Lynn apparently worried about was her cat. She loved her cats so much. Well, Jessy killed her cats too. She had them put down. She had at least one put down and forged the other put down. So I don't know what happened to the other one. But the cats were only 7 or 8 years old. So that's very sad. It's really, really sinister. This Jessy is really next level. So she said, you did all you could to keep me alive as long as you could. I no longer recognize myself. I'm sick of being sick, complaining about being sick, and just sick of it all. I want to be free from the pain, and this is my time. Note that because at the end of this page, she talks about not feeling any pain anymore because she takes so much Visine. So to say, I want to be free from the pain, and this is my time. I love you and your mom very much. Take care of each other. I'm following the yellow brick road to see my dad. Okay, now Jessy, if you're pretending to be Lynn, what about her mom? What about anyone else before? What about Lynn's grandparents? Anyone else she's lost? No, Jessy just has to make that her and her mom are absolute heroes, which is a giant red flag, the elephant in the room, right? So in this letter, she wants to make like Jessy and her mom are heroes. And the only person that Lynn is trying to get to is her dad who died. But remember, her mom also died. I'm just saying. Thank you. The orphan, I really appreciate it. So then she says, and remember the yellow brick road? That's the Wizard of Oz reference. Because remember, that would be one of Lynn's favorite movies. So I think Jessy's brain cell, Jessy's brain was like, oh yeah, Pretty Woman, Mrs. Doubtfire, Wizard of Oz. I need to use that later in a letter. And here, just a few pages down, she's like, yes. I'm following the yellow brick road to see my dad. Jessy, stop listening to this tape and put it somewhere safe and hidden. Yeah. So as if anyone would record something like this, if they were going to take their own life with Visine, it just seems very unlikely. But not only that, to say, Jessy, stop listening to this tape and put it somewhere safe and hidden. Do you think that Jessy's going to follow those orders? She doesn't follow any orders ever. Ever. So, Shauna, I've seen a few people ask this question. Do you know if they can get fingerprints off? I mean, they could. Investigators could do all of that, of course. I don't know. I'm sure it will help, actually. I don't know if it will help or not. They are investigating, and if there are fingerprints to get, they're going to get it. Yes. This is not going to be another full investigation within the case. So hectic, right? Okay, so she said, Lynn Hernan, being of sound mind and body, want to state, you are not like Jessy. So you're trying to get people to believe that Lynn is very suicidal in this moment. It's 2 days before she's taking her own life. But I, Lynn Hernan, being of sound mind and body, no. Of sound mind and body. Want to state, I'm recording this statement today on Sunday, October 1st, 2018. Lynn died on October 3rd, you guys. I have been sick long enough, seen enough doctors to know that I will never be the same, and I no longer want to live my life as it is. I've done things I cannot take back. I took a life that I had no right to do. Disgusting, Jessy, to say this. Ugh, like she's so repulsive. Oh my word. I think she's worse than Sarah Boone. Much worse. This is a terrible criminal. I'm choosing on my own free will and on my own time frame to take my own life. I've tried more options than most. Now listen to this. From purchasing a gun, overuse of medications, to poisons. I assumed poisons would be the fastest. See, Jessy's using her brain again and flexing how she... the thought process of like, okay, I'm going to pretend to be Lynn. So gun, overuse of medications, poisons. And then the next sentence is that she thought the poison would be the fastest. No, the gun would be the fastest in the scenario. Jessy. Like, this woman she annoys me. Okay, so the fastest and easiest. No, that would still be the gun of all the things you listed. Don't, trigger warning for anyone, and don't get any ideas. You're all staying here, okay? So now, she said, and never get any ideas. I hope none of you are ever arrested, okay? I'll snark it up. You stay safe, and you stay well behaved. Yeah, Stefan said, well, a gun is quite fast, Jessy. But Stefan, out of all the options, a gun, overuse of medication, and poison. Like, poison is the slowest, most painful one. And yet she's like, yeah, I figured that's the fastest. No one buys this at all. It's really hard to read this because, of course, we are here to protect victims and their families. And this is just disgusting. How she pretends to be the victim, how she writes about Lynn. It's terrible. All we could do now is read it and snark it up, okay? Yeah, Miss Holmes says she's much worse than Sarah Boone. At least Sarah has, or shows, well, I would say a speck of remorse for killing Mr. Torres, yeah. So then she said, listen to this now. I assume poison would be the fastest and easiest. Little did I know. It would be just as hard. Visine is one I stumbled across prior. What a very vague statement. And remember that Jessy told her boyfriend that Jessy herself, was poisoned with Visine in January of 2019, 5 or 6 months before she was arrested. Jessy's the one with knowledge of Visine. Jessy's the one with a PDF document that was on her phone that she deleted, that the police recovered, with all kinds of poisons listed on there. But now she wants us to believe that Lynn is saying Visine is one I stumbled across prior and tried without success. But ended up using it not for almost 3 months. Now, I don't know if that means now or not. I don't know why it says not, but okay. The way it makes me feel is something undescribable. Well, indescribable. Okay, Jessy. My body is numb. I feel no pain from my constant pain. Oh, really? I thought you were just saying above, Jessy, that you are tired of feeling pain. But here it says, I feel no pain from my constant pain. It makes me tired, where I sleep a kind of sleep I haven't experienced in years. Yeah, people have roofied people with eye drops, depending on which brand or what's in it or whatever, right? Even that inappropriate defense witness talked about that. Date rape and stuff, right? With eye drops. So saying, it makes me feel the kind of sleep I haven't experienced in years. Yeah, when you roofie someone, sure. She said, oh no, this is horrible. I became quite fond of it. It was a new medication to me. Said no one ever about eye drops. I enjoy my medications, and now Visine is one of them. Not a BS. You know what the problem with that is? That I can't get out of my mind. I just think of her attorney, Donna Kuchler, because Donna said that Lynn enjoyed her little medications. You know, she had her little pills. That's how she talked about Lynn herself. Those attorneys should be ashamed of themselves for how much they victim blamed in this case too. There's defending your client, and then there's victim blaming to the next level. They got caught up in all of this crap here. Ew. But when you see, that sounds like Donna's language there. I enjoy my medications, and now Visine is one of them. Maybe Jessy got inspired by hearing that at the trial. She's like, let me write that down. Tangerine Stella says, wait. The letters or tape were supposed to be dated October 1st, so Jessy supposedly buried the baggie after Lynn's death, but didn't dig it up to get the new last will and testament. Yeah, that's how crazy her story is. Yeah, none of it makes sense. None of it adds up at all. So she said, at first I was drinking a bottle almost daily, mixed in my water or vodka. It wouldn't be mixed in the water. If it's a bottle daily, you would taste it. It would have we looked it up, okay, during the trial, what would it taste like? They say a bit bitter or a bit sour. You would be able to pick it up. I don't know. But of course, she's pretending that Lynn willingly did this because, eye drops, right? No one is doing that. At first, I was drinking a bottle almost daily, mixed in my water or vodka. Then I increased over time. Was purchasing Visine on my own for over a month until I could no longer drive or shop. I did stock up on it and had my caretaker, Jessy. She did not know what I was doing until recent. Now note, a caregiver refers to someone who directly cares for the elderly, children, or people with serious illnesses. On the other hand, a caretaker's job is broader, such as being employed to take care of the house or land while the owner is away, and someone who provides physical or emotional care and support. So during the trial, we all joked that she was a caretaker. She was actually just a taker, no care. Scrap the care, just take her. But she says, I had my caretaker, Jessy. She did not know what I was doing until recent. Jessy, which also contradicts everything Jessy said in the police interviews, because she said that Lynn asked her to put it in the bottles, or that she used to shout at Lynn for putting Visine in her water or vodka or whatever, like trying to stop her. Okay. Jessy is the one person who knows everything I have went through. So not gone through. I have went through. In and out. Except my mother's death. Seen all the good and bad. She's been there when I fell in the middle of the night, shit on myself or puked. Right. As if a suicide tape recording will sound like this. Once upon a time when I shit on myself. Said no one ever in a suicide tape recording. Like, come on. Who in the hell is going to praise freaking anyone, actually, in the darkest moment of their life? If they are feeling suicidal, why are they saying, this person was amazing, and their mother is amazing, and they saved me so many times? Like, okay, narcissist, that's Jessy. She just sees herself on like some podium. She's like, yes, Lynn's going to praise me for everything I did. Wow. Yeah, Marilee says such coarse language. I know, right? It really escalated quickly. It was like, seeing all the good and bad. She's been there when I fell in the middle of the night, shit on myself or puked, and came to clean it up. She has caught me in the act of trying to take my own life. She has seen me at my worst, and there regardless. I owe her everything for all she's done. In your dreams, Jessy. Her mother, my best friend, and Jessy are my only family left. Another lie. Anthony Poser, Corrine Poser, Jim Kelleher, all of Lynn's family and friends, Amy Short, everyone. There's so many people that loved Lynn so much and that are there in court. Look at that one side of the court. Just wanting to see justice for Lynn. But here she's like, no, her mother and my best friend. Oh, the best friend who just couldn't deal with you anymore. Nice best friend. The one who's driving your Jeep, by the way, to court every day. Yeah, apparently Jennifer Flower, Jessy's mother, was still driving Lynn's Jeep up and down to the trial. The two thieves. Nice. Okay, sorry about that. Moving on. And mean more than they know. I did the unthinkable. Now, watch. I did the unthinkable to Jessy, and it ruined her for months. I lied to her, says the biggest liar of all time. I did the unthinkable to Jessy. I lied to her. And I had her lie to everyone in the process, and it destroyed her. No amount of lying will ever destroy Jessy Kurczewski. She is a pro at it. It's all she knows. She's a pathological liar. In my opinion. I'm not diagnosing anyone. It's just an observation from things I've read about it. I'm not a mental health expert. I care very much about mental health and mental health topics, but I'm not an expert. No, I'm just saying this one lies like none other. I don't know if she's ever told the truth ever. Unless she's speaking in someone else's voice or pretending to be a character. Then it sounds a bit confessional. Okay. So she says, it destroyed her. She knew I was suicidal. You literally just said a few paragraphs, a sentence ago, just about. That she had no idea. Okay, she knew I was suicidal, but I told her I was sick and dying from colon cancer. Okay, she didn't say anything like that at the hospital. She said, I didn't want to see people or talk to them, so I had Jessy lie to everyone. And I didn't want anyone to know. Yeah, we know, Jessy, you and your mother told Lynn's ex-boyfriend, who was very close to her, don't ever call this number again. Lynn is fine. Ah, we saw that at the trial. We heard. Truth was, I wasn't sick with colon cancer or dying. One afternoon, Jessy came to check on me, as her usual, and caught me with unexpectedly while I had a gun to my head. She screamed at me, crying that when I came clean with her about not having cancer and lying. I lied to her because she was concerned about me being suicidal, that saying I was sick was easier to do. I never seen her so hurt, so lie to everyone she knew and didn't know what to do now. Call a mental health professional? Ask for help? Tell the police? She's like, she had no idea with that one brain cell what to do. Jessy just had no idea. Yeah, okay, it's sounding like Letitia, you know? Anyway, I never saw her. Okay, she had no idea. She said she told me that I was either, so she told me, like basically scolded me, that I was either going to get help and go to the hospital or she was calling the cops. I let her take me to Aurora Waukesha Hospital the next morning, where they admitted me and I stayed for weeks. Now it's pop quiz time. Can anyone remember how long Lynn was in the hospital? It was about 3 weeks, right? Was it? In September of 2018, and she was released and died 5 days later. Sure. So then she said, she took me to Aurora Waukesha Hospital the next morning, where they admitted me and I stayed for weeks. I wanted to get better for her. Like this woman. I wanted to get better for her. Yeah, okay, but deep down, my decision was made long ago, and I cannot go on anymore. My mom's death haunts me daily. I tried to take my life twice while in the hospital and had a camera put in my room. After driving home from the hospital, Jessy stayed the weekend. Now, there's something. Driving home from the hospital. Lynn was taken to the hospital in an ambulance. I can't recall now. How did she get home? I don't think that Jessy took her. Because we were still saying, why didn't Jessy? But here she said, see, that sounds a bit like first person, like as if Jessy was there. But anyway, after driving home, let's just get there. After driving home from the hospital, Jessy stayed the weekend. And per my discharge, I was to get in home care that week. I had planned on different ideas. But Jessy didn't leave me alone. Ending the weekend came and went. And now it's today, Sunday morning. I took my remaining Visine bottles and put them into my last water bottles. I have stashed Visine for months and have been emptying it over time to water bottles, and now have 3 bottles full with only Visine, over 30 bottles, and will start drinking those tomorrow along with my medications. I'm hoping by drinking an extreme amount that this will work as planned. Now, although it's a very hard topic, if someone was suicidal, they wouldn't be like, what I'm going to do is put all this Visine, this is my choice that I'm making, Visine, and just spread it out over a few days and just start knocking back 30 bottles. You wouldn't, of water. You wouldn't dilute it then. You would just drink the bottles. Oh, Jessy's so full of crap, oh my word. Okay, so it's exhausting, isn't it? Again, I say, we thought Sarah Boone was exhausting. This is way worse. These letters are much worse. So I'll start drinking those tomorrow along with my medications. I'm choosing this on my own terms and how I see fit. No one played any part in this decision or acted on it. I chose to drink Visine and end my life. Look into my mom's death to better understand. I came into this world fighting like hell. What does that even mean? And lived a good life. and I'm going to go out of the world on my own terms. Soon I will see my dad again. And you see, why is she saying that? Remember, when Jessy staged the scene, is how we could say it now, because there were pills all over Lynn's chest and some in her hair, apparently. And Lynn was wearing her dad's dog tag. Jessy still wants to feed into that narrative. She still wants to be like, I'm here, clutching this dog tag, thinking of my dad, I'm going to be with him. It's so sickening, right? Oh, man. Okay. Nomfix says, I'm going to have to trade in my swim. You were going swimming? Well, thank you all for being here. I hope that you are enjoying this letter reading as much as it's a grim topic. It's horrible. But this is the ridiculousness. This is the letter that caused the delay in sentencing. I've never seen a sentencing hearing like that in my life. So they say, they being Jessy, I would like it known. So Little Miss Speculative Narcissist would like it known that Jessy and Jenny are in charge of my final wishes. They know where the paperwork is and what to do. I want to make sure it's known. Those two are the best. Those two will take care of everything. Oh no, we saw that. Then look what Jessy writes here. A star and an arrow up just ended like it was still recording or like she screwed up. There's so much more, but that's all we need. That's all we need. I don't know who the we is, but okay. And yeah, she says, don't say. Look. Just hold on, you guys. One more time. She put this little sentence in brackets and says, just ended like it was still recording or like she screwed up. There's so much more, but that's all we need. And then she points at it. Don't say this. So imagine if her friend did this and we'd be like, I would like it known that Jessy and Jenny are in charge of my final wishes. They know where the paperwork is and what to do. I want to make sure it is known. Just end it like it was still recording or like she screwed up. There's so much more, but that's all we need. So she just has to make sure it's not read like that. Her friend must stop there, okay? Her friend must stop there. Marilee says she keeps talking about Lynn's mom's death, who was poisoned with Visine, was dizzy, fell down the stairs. Seriously, Jessy was well on her way to being the Visine serial killer. I know, right? I mean, then we need to look at all deaths surrounding her. Dog tags. The way she talks about her dad here, clutching those dog tags. Don't you think it's ridiculous, guys? The way she staged this whole scene before, after, in this letter, and everything. Sure. Willow says, thank you. Willow, that's the name of our cat now too. Willow Wren, thank you for reading this for us, Grizzly, and mods for all you do. It is my pleasure, and thank you so much for being here. Sure, okay, we're getting through it. If you're brand new here, you're just hopping on today, you're like, what is this lady talking about? Who is this lady? I'm Grizzly K. I'm South African, living in the Netherlands, okay, and we're looking at this Jessy Kurczewski crazy letter. It's now being investigated to prove she wrote it. I don't know who else would. And how did it get to that friend's house and all of that? Because this delayed the sentencing, which is a very big deal in this case. It's not nice for the victim's family and friends. For the victim, it's not nice. This is delaying justice. All because of this crap. So we're reading it and we are not even halfway through yet, but we're getting there. So if you haven't yet subscribed, make sure that you are subscribed, okay? And if you liked, did you hit like? Because did you see that it makes like confetti? Lately, if you subscribe or hit the like button, it makes like a whoosh effect. If your app is updated, of course, or YouTube. Okay, so she says, make copies of front pages first, black or white. Then find notary companies. Some will allow sample with void or wording in background. Look around. You'll find once you do, copy and paste. Then change paper in printer. I would print copies of letters, many first, then more stamp around and line up on plain sheet first. Then use copy of page. When done with notary copy page again, so full page with notary is a copy, and make copy for everyone. Plus, if you could mail me, nope, never mind, you need an address to mail me. She couldn't even be like, let me tear up this page and start again. She talks to her friend as if it's just a conversation. You know, she says, make a copy for everyone. Plus, if you could mail me. Nope, never mind. You need an address to mail me something. And when you write to everyone, don't use any return address. This is all by a concerned citizen. It's easier, so you're not involved. Yes, attorney said someone could use themselves if they want, but that's too much to ask anyone. It's easier anonymous. I think I don't want them causing problems for anyone, because they won't be happy, because the bank people already said they did multiple notary pages and they are theirs. They knew there was many, not all turned into court. And add a letter like sample to all these people and just tape with for the judge only difference. So the tape for the judge or the letters to all the people. Now these are trial notes, okay? What I find odd about this was Lynn's obituary. It was literally, it's on a website where they've got this listed. Lynn Hernan, loving daughter of Bob and Lorraine Hernan. And notice how Lorraine is spelled here. Lorraine. But earlier, when Jessy's pretending to be Lynn and talking about her mom being murdered, she writes it Lorianne, Lorriane. So there's a mistake there. Busted. But anyway, she says passed away, born. Lynn lived more life in her first 40 years than most people do. You know, and she talks about the Wizard of Oz and fasten your seatbelts. It's going to be a bumpy ride. Favorite line from movie, All About Eve. So remember, Lynn, when you see a black and white movie and smile. And any donations, please give to a no-kill animal shelter, because another one of her passions was saving all the unwanted stray animals. Which makes no sense that Jessy then put her cats down. Like, when is she scribbling this and why? Or, you know, and this is crossed out. Did the attorneys write this? Is this Donna's writing? I don't know. But it says here, sample of stamp. Okay? It says, Waukesha Freeman, Sunday paper, prepared, notarized, Lynn Hernan. Okay? She crosses that out. Then it says, look at this. Both are all caps, letters. Make sure it's all the same. They have different ones. Where did this stamp come from? That's what I want to know. Who stamped there? If this is papers from the trial, who stamped this? Where was this example made? Yeah, there we go. Diamond Ring Girl says, how did she get a notary stamp on this? I want to know too. That's a big question. Ooh, Katrina says, I think she sent it to her mom, which is why the envelope was folded. I mean, where this stamp comes from is going to be part of the investigation. She said, see how it's not straight. You don't want it like it was printed. See? Shauna says, what I don't understand is if Jessy did this during court, wouldn't her attorney see that she was writing a book and be a little suspicious and look at it? Yeah, but she didn't technically write this letter in court. She just scribbled a little bit on these papers. The letter was written on the back side of the papers that she had in the courtroom. So maybe every day she took one paper to her jail cell. And then she was found guilty on November 14th and wrote this letter. It was dated on November 22nd. So she had between the 14th and the 22nd to write this letter on the back of her trial note papers. Anyway, so this is interesting. She says, try to put in open spots only few pages without much room. Still put on words then. She is only one page, first one. He has middle initial with period. She doesn't. He has a lot of pages put on each one even. So these are some notes. It says only copy front pages and grammar errors. It's okay to be like that. Why does she underline that? It's okay to be like that. All right. So this is box 514 BMO branch 9278. It's Got all the numbers there. And hold on, I need water. Yeah, she didn't draw that notary stamp. It was stamped. Look. That's not drawn. That's a stamp. Alison Pamperin? Where'd that come from? Okay. Now it says, Lynn Hernan being of sound mind and body on this date, 1/14/2016. Now she's writing another letter pretending to be Lynn, backdating it to 2016. Okay. Need to get something off my shoulders. The guilt. It's so weird how she writes the guilt has been weighing heavily on me. On Saturday, November 30th, 2013, my mom, now look how she spells the name. Look. Lorianne instead of Lorraine. Marie, I don't know what this nickname is. Hernan passed away just shy of her 86th birthday. Busted. So she says, passed away just shy of her 86th birthday at St. Mary's Hospital in Madison, Wisconsin. Prior to her death, her health was declining with her memory. It was no secret we had a very toxic relationship. We had been through thick, thin, and everything in between. She forgot everything. So now she's claiming, she's pretending to be Lynn and saying that her mother forgot everything, but she was onto her financial, all the stealing. Which again, I say, is hectic projection. Jessy needs a mirror. She says, she forgot everything but found out that I had been helping myself to her money and changed her will to cut me out. She was leaving everything to her best friend and neighbor, Bonnie. I took matters into my own hands, lacing her tea with Visine bottles, as seen on TV. I will never understand why she says as seen on TV. When in the hell was it ever seen on TV that one is lacing tea with Visine? Do you guys remember in Wedding Crashes? I still need to rewatch that as part of our homework because Jessy talks about it in the police interview that on Wedding Crashes, someone put Visine in someone's drink. I don't remember if that's tea. Is it tea? Can't remember that scene. Okay, so she said, I understand I had no right. It haunts me, possibly more than I realize as I'm starting to worry. I slipped after a night of partying too hard and told Kevin I've paid secretly for his silence since. We'll look at the next page. Don't worry, it gets there. Okay? Come on, voice box, you can do it. She said he passed as a way of coming back. You aren't out. I don't know what's going on here. Something about demons. I know I tried. Anyway, so it says signed Lynn Hernan. And there's this by the way, says name of notary, put where post it is. So Alison Pamperin was the name on the notary stamp, but they're showing Jessy put these post-it notes here to show her friend throughout this letter where to put the notary stamp. Hilarious says Wedding Crashes he did, but in T, I think. Okay, so it wasn't in T. Because she is saying here, as seen on TV, saying lacing her tea with Visine bottles as seen on TV. Yeah, in Wedding Crashes, I think they did it to give someone diarrhea. Jessy took that inspiration and took it to a criminal level. This is in Waukesha, Wisconsin, for those of you asking. So Eliza says there's a scene. Owen Wilson puts it in his water to make him sick so he could talk to the girl. In the water. Okay. Interesting. I'll have to watch that movie again. At least it's a good movie, right? Just to see. Visine is eye drops. Alright, so let's go to the next page here. This page is a repeat of that page, okay? And what it is the page without the post-it note. So there's that page. They repeat it. And this says, I had no right. It haunts me, possibly more than I realize, as I'm starting to worry. I slipped after a night of partying too hard and told Kevin I paid secretly for his silent sins. I'm too afraid of spending my life in prison. I will never forget how bad it was. I cannot, will not, no matter what, ever go back. I'm so sorry, Mom. Forgive me. Signed, Lynn Hernan. Now, Lynn, I think she went to jail for a DUI, from what I'm understanding. From what I've researched a bit, but she's like, no, I'll never go back to prison. Cannot, will not. Yeah, Jessy, you're the criminal in the room. Next page is trial notes. It says, can the jury see that? Question mark. Now, again, this writing looks a bit different. So Donna Kugler said yesterday that she recognizes her own writing in some of these trial notes. So this could be Donna's writing or Pablo Galavi's. I don't know. So it says, Anthony, page 3, is a real receipt. Labeled page on file. He only said he saw her twice in 2018, out for St. Patty's, July lunch, but he went to the store with her 4 times. Page 595. Pro healthcare records show credit cards check-in. Why isn't he showing her jewelry purchases? You clearly don't know Lynn. The cats were still there. You said July, August, September, October. Removed coal. 2016, removed coal. I think it says coal. So I think these could be Donna's notes. Because Jessy took a whole bunch of papers to her cell and wrote on the back of it. Okay, that's where she got these papers, which is also a bit odd. Surely she gets paper in jail. Maybe she doesn't get so much, right? Is that why? Okay, so Kathy, we were looking at that notary stamp, and it says Alison Pamperin. It was all in capitals, I think, the name. So it says, so you could just go back a little bit and see it there, and then come back and join us here. Right, so remember when in the opening statements, defense attorney Pablo Galavi said that no one has ever died from Visine? I mean, that was a lot of crap. A lot of people had. There's a lot of cases, a lot of murder cases where people died from Visine overdoses. Yeah, Stefan says, so Jessy stole her attorney's notes? Well, I'm not surprised anymore. She was literally committing theft in the courtroom before our very eyes, you guys. Then it says, have him read what it says under Keith's name. When you say he was to get the bracelet. But Keith talked to her daily. Her cell phone was for emergency only when she left the house. He still never showed her credit card purchases. This is Lynn Hernan 2/1/2018. It says, attached to will, original in lockbox 514. I, Lynn Hernan. Now, guys, this one gets me. Jessy. Look at this. Begged, borrowed, and stole. Look how she spells borrowed. Begged, borrowed, and stole. She sure knows how to spell stole. Borrowed, not so much. Most of my life. I never had much, but I was happy. Okay, Jessy again. If Lynn had always begged, borrowed, and stole, she was actually a hair stylist. Lynn, she was a hairstylist. And she was frugal, and she was full of love. Everybody that knew and loved her said this about Lynn. Okay? That, yes, she said, I never had much, but I was happy. I think that's a true statement. But the begged, borrowed, and stole, I'm not going to forget the borrowed. Then it all changed on August 19th, 2007. While in prison, I found out the one person who I could always call and count on, my best friend, my dad, passed away. And my world collapsed. After my release, I tried through it all to return to a normal life. I helped care for my mom, and that was my downfall. Isn't that interesting? Again, projection. I cared for my mom, and that was my downfall. Almost like Jessy's like, I cared for Lynn, and that was my downfall. You know what I mean? She says, the things I did for money, I can't take back, and I live with it every day. Which, that sounds sus. I would say, Jessy, what all have you done for money? Again, here she's pretending to be Lynn. She said, with all the money I had, most was given, loaned, or used for silence. Yeah. Again, that sounds like Jessy. She said, I did get the condo. That I hate. Okay. I'm trying to get a loan to sell for a side-by-side for Jennifer, which is Jessy Kurczewski's mother, for Jennifer and I. I also got a Jeep, to be exact. Why would anyone write like this? I also got a Jeep, to be exact. It's a 2016 Jeep Wrangler that will go to Jenny too. And Jenny used that Jeep to ride up and down to the courtroom every day during this trial. The audacity. My time here on this earth is coming to an end. I want a record for safekeeping so there are no issues later on. Now, there's another sticky note to show her friend where to put the notarized stamp. So we're going to move on because later there's another page where we can actually see what she wrote there, which is coming up now. She says, 1. Jenny, I helped when Jessy was in prison and was out of work. I owed her from years ago when she helped me. It was the least I could do. I helped later on and off, rent, bills. She was given a charge, etc. On 3/11/2015, $5,000 direct from Lockbox. Also the time when Lynn started getting sick. 2. Jessy, money plus property, while in prison. Because I know firsthand and so much more after. Okay, vague statements. I helped with debts, rebuild a lot. She also helped me, so it went both ways. Checks was a big one. Long story. Again, I'll say we heard that long story at the trial. We saw the evidence of these checks. There's so much I'll be doing for both Jenny and Jessy before I check out. I told you in the beginning, listen for the language. Jessy says check out, didn't steal a dime from her. Now she's using her own types of phrases here. Before I check out, there's so much I'll be doing for them. Right. For the thieves, the besties. 3. Jim was given and also loaned money when he lost, and then it continues. There's first a trial note page, okay? This is about Corinne, who's Anthony, I think so. Anthony Pose's mom and Lynn's probably actual best friend. It says Korean, but I think it's Corinne. It says Paul in probate, informal by register, most common. Formal, court admin of his state. Will safeguard to be signed by 2 disinterested, I think it says that. This is hard to read. Something Freeman. 6 months to fill inventory. 1 year to close estate. Many hearings without me. Lots of mail being returned, incorrect address, even though I wrote numerous times, wanting to be heard and present. Removed for being incarcerated, temporary. Is that cause? This is trial notes. I don't know who wrote this. Maybe Jessy, maybe Donna, maybe Pablo. This is Lisa on the side. I don't know. It says, is that cause to remove someone? My pending legal case, death of Lynn, was brought up many times in court. On the final accounting page, the numbers on the main page don't add up. I told Lisa that numerous times. Also have the paperwork I have, and in court, Lisa lists Lynn Kurczewski, spells it wrong. There are others, tax form and others in his state. Okay. Kerry says, even her trial notes are so I'm the victim. I know, right? Okay, so now this is Lynn Hernan, 2/1/2018, and there's another post-it note. So let's see the next page, because here's the next page where it's without the post-it note. So remember, it carries on from Kevin. Okay, his grandma's house to foreclosure. He lost his grandma's house to foreclosure. He had no job, no place to live. Wait, who was this for? Wait. I just want to go up here. Yeah, Jim. There we go. Was given and also loaned money when he lost. So she's talking about Jim, her ex-boyfriend. When he lost his grandma's house to foreclosure, he had no job, no place to live. So I helped, but it was never enough. Linda drank more away. Okay, who's Linda? Probably his girlfriend. His new girlfriend, right? Then it says, I loaned him money for bail, fines. He got me to that courthouse when I was too afraid to step foot in the door. But he needed, I helped. Motels, hotels, Holiday Inn. No, they didn't say that. She just said motels, hotels, bills, his down payment on his house, and money towards a pool. He to date hasn't made a dent in paying back. it pisses me off and he knows it. This sounds like Jessy. It's almost like she slips out of character for a moment there, right? It pisses me off and he knows it. He's well over $25,000 that he got in total to date. Yeah. If Lynn was so giving, and that she was, okay? But in Jessy's mind, if Lynn was so giving, had such a big heart that she just gave her hundreds of thousands of dollars, gave her mother the Jeep, just gave away everything, why would Lynn suddenly be pissed off that her ex-boyfriend, who means a lot to her and who's still close friends, they were close friends until the day Lynn died, why would she suddenly say, it pisses me off? Just a crazy Swiftie says, gee, I think the neighbors just heard me cackle. I love ya. Well, I'm glad I'm making your Friday better. So here she says, well over. And then she adds it up, which, if I'm correct, I think it's 25,500. She lists the dates, of all this money that Jim has taken. Jim is going to be so pissed with Jessy after reading this. Those are only 3 of the large withdrawals. They were small amounts too. I kept track of it all. Okay, so you're telling us that Lynn kept track of all of her ex-boyfriend's money that he borrowed, the way Jessy spells it, but that she would just give Jessy all the money, just all of it, whatever. I think it was like $250,000, all her entire inheritance. Now, 4, Keith, I gave money when he needed, but that was between us, and it was from cash, so it didn't go through the bank. 5 says Kevin. I don't know who Kevin is. Do we know who Kevin is? Kevin, my mistake of all mistakes, who got the most, all to keep him quiet. She can't spell quiet either, but okay, to keep him quiet. He took everything and even more. No, Jessy, that's you. Jessy, are you really Kevin? He took everything and even more. The best part was his death. What? The best part was his death, but it was too late by then. He got my lockbox stash of cash. Stash of cash at the house, withdrawals of thousands. Like she's losing the plot here. She already did long ago, but here it's really starting to fall apart. At a time, from the bank, even more cash with all the checks written as cover to Jessy. Long story. That's the second time she refers to the checks as a long story. He got jewelry. I gave all I had. I will never let anyone take yours from me or send me back to that hellhole. So did what I had to, over $200,000. The money's running dry as of today, Thursday. Really? So Jessy is calling herself Kevin in that one. Wow. Phantom says, hubby and I love G. We listen together. That's so nice. My word. And I see there's lots of Grizzly pets that also listen. Oh my word. Thank you guys for sending all your pictures. I never have time to respond to all the emails, but you guys are all sending me the cutest pictures of your Grizzly teddies and the new trigger bunny that's in the shop as well, right? And you're showing me those pictures that you put wherever you put in your house and of your pets that watch me on the TV. It's very cute. Thank you so much. Just know I do see every email. I see them, I read them. I don't have the capacity to respond because I'm always working on something for you guys. It's all about priorities, right? If you want to see me every day, I can't spend all my day replying to emails. There's so many. But I love reading them, so thank you so much. Okay, now, Aaron Hoppy. These again are trial notes. Aaron Hoppy is the lead detective who was also, on the police interviews and things. And he's there right behind the prosecutors. We saw him yesterday as well. So it says, Aaron Hoppy, at scene briefly. Case reopened January 2019. 9/15/18 to 9/28/18. Hospital. Oh, there we go. I think these are Donna Kuchler's notes again. 10/13/18. Her death. 7/19/19. Search warrant. Does Lynn never leave? They didn't do her own phone location. Adobe on my phone? You see, who's writing this? Is this Jessy? Different writing, or who's writing this? I bought on for my new laptop. Copy and pasted. With what program? On phone or laptop? I changed them. PDF to Word. Microsoft. I'm lost here. I didn't edit documents on my phone. That would take forever. Did you spoof something of Lynn's numbers to make calls? I know when we first set up certain things, she didn't want calls. So yes, I actually couldn't even tell you number that wasn't used really. But that didn't last. Can you pull up the Marcus loan? Because I know they had her original too at one point, just like her address, because she had me change it when she stopped. Didn't they bother to research what they are talking about? I knew he was wrong. I didn't even lock my phone. No password. Yes, Nana Nurse. I hope that you will check out my true crime, my YouTube short. Okay? My Grizzly True Crime YouTube short, where I showed that. I'll show it afterwards. Okay? So hang in there for that if you haven't seen it yet. Okay, so this is Lynn Hernan again. February. This is carrying on now. Remember, well, there's a sticky note. Oh yeah, this is a new page. February 1st, 2018. My money is depleted, which is hilarious how she spells that, because it's like a pleat, like a pleated curtain. Depleted. Okay, no A necessary there. And under $25,000 in all accounts. It'll be gone, like before the is over. Before the what? I will spend and give away all, including my credit cards. I don't want a dime left for credit. See, that's Jessy's language again. I don't want a dime left for creditors. Medical state to take. I am. Yeah, I am. I want to say it like that. Yeah, I am. I am. I apostrophe am, not I'm, but okay. I am going to, what is this? Meet with Mr. Diaz at BMO Bank today on loan and to notarize documents. I will be making changes for final wishes due to my short planned future. I'm changing my living will to say Jessy and Jenny, and my last will and testament to Jenny from Anthony and Jessy. Jessy did this. Jenny will give Jessy money. I don't want her probation agent to get it for restitution. I want those two, Jessy and Jenny, to get everything because they are around the most and they need it versus Corinne and Anthony. They come from a different world. Yeah, the non-criminal one. Yeah, that one. A whole different world. I will always love them. They are my family, but we aren't close as we used to be. Things change. People change. That's life. Signed and dated, Lynn Hernan. And again, she puts a post-it here to show it. This is where you must put the notarized stamp. Okay. So this is a repeat of that without the sticky note. These are trial notes. PT was for full risk. Who can explain my lies except me? When I went out drinking, if I had just had a night out with friends, the more I spoke to them, the more they, and then it says, you just said, 1022 bracelet, $1,900. I made 2 cash deposits in Tri-City on 11/14, 11/15, totaling over $5,500 for jewelry and furniture from estate. Ooh, Denny Dawn says, Lisa, we heard all this during the trial, so maybe have been written by someone on the audience. Just speculation. Imagine if someone, remember that guy that was sitting in the back of the courtroom towards the end of the trial, and he just was having the greatest time. He was just laughing, smiling. It almost seemed like he wanted to see Jessy go down, but he was on Jessy's side of the courtroom. Who's that guy? If it's someone in the audience, so they're like, oh my word, I'm gonna write this letter. I don't think so though. Because Donna, remember, it can't be someone from the audience because Donna Kuchler said she recognizes her own writing on these notes. These are trial note papers. So I don't think they would just leave them there on the table. I mean, how would someone not see that either? That someone's sneaking around and quickly going to the attorney's table and taking their papers. You know what I mean? Yeah, no, this is Jessy. I'm still going with it. It's Jessy. Only Jessy can write this crap. Anyway, so look at these trial notes. We're just looking, it's all crossed out here. Because it's crossed out because it's on the other side of the paper. This is one side and Jessy writes on the other. Yeah, Kerry says he was on Jesse's side of the courtroom as no room on Lynn's side. Probably yes. CJ says, "Shoo, I'm confused with all this different handwriting." I know, right? But Jessy did forge a lot of documents in her past. She's got criminal records for it. She changed her writing up a lot. We saw it many times. She liked to pretend to be different people through her writing. Okay, so this is Pro Health Care, page 139. Truly stopping her current medical condition. Page 614. Something placed for safety. Doesn't say fall. Worse now because they took away pain med. She had no pills. 2 in her body. Then it says John, DA, cousin. Look at her file again. She missed this. No jewelry. No fancy clothes. No. Always right next to her. Pick and save in, I don't know what that says. Like a name. Hales something. This is not that important. I'm just showing you some trial notes. The rest I've definitely transcribed many times. Just trial scribbles. I'm like, I don't know. Pick and save. Okay, it says wasn't there yet. I was. Okay. So here we go again. Last will and testament of Lynn Hernan. I, Lynn Hernan, being of sound mind and body, make, publish, and declare this to be my last will and testament, hereby revoking and voiding any other wills by me at any time heretofore made. 1. I direct that all of my just, or if it's just debts or oust debts or outstanding debts, I don't know what that word is. What do you guys think this word is here? Expenses of illness and funeral be paid by personal representative hereinafter named as soon as practicable after my death in the manner provided by law. So now she's showing again with a sticky note where to put the stamp, right? Ms. Holmes says, I think the guy you talk about wasn't, well, he looked like he was having a great time, and it looked like someone who maybe Jessy speculatively has wronged before. That's the room I was reading at the time. That's my opinion. If you have a different opinion, obviously that's totally fine. Just letting you know. Some people are like, why do you have to tell us that? Because we can all have differing opinions and debate. Just don't fight with each other, okay? So, is anyone answering what you think that this word is? I think it's like outstanding debts, just debts. I don't know. So then it says the little stamp is here again. So let's go to the next page because then it'll be without that sticky note. Okay. If I leave a separate written statement signed and dated by me, providing for gifts of tangible personal property as of the time of my death, and if applicable, law permits the making of testamentary gifts of such personal property, by that means, my personal representative shall carry out the directions in the statement. Even if such statement is not legally binding, I request that my personal representation carry out such written statement. You guys are saying just debts, okay? Looks like just outstanding. It could be any of those. You knowing Jessy. It says, I give, devise, and bequeath all of my residue, and remainder of my property, which I may own at the time of my death, to Jennifer Flower. Must be underlined. You know, this whole letter is just like everything is about Jennifer Flower and Jessy Kurczewski. I hereby nominate and appoint Jennifer Flower personal representative of this, my last will and testament, and request that no bond be required of her in that capacity. In as such, I empower such. Okay, now we got to trial notes again. Alex Bird says she knows way too much about funerals and stuff for my comfort. She's so creepy. Yes. So this is Anthony. This is card. It's not paid in person. 2017. He said once or twice a month in his interview, he said dozen or half a dozen. 2 months after holiday, Keith talked to Lynn every day. Not true. How long did Jessy handle the estate? He said, I gave him the papers to sign off on papers. Never gave him those probate papers. Discussed in August by the bracelet. Sell the bracelet. We discussed with disgust. He said, he signed papers at the bank. You said you didn't know what bank. Is it true your mom helped with the estate? Sounds like Donna's letters again. Donna's notes. Because Jessy would have then taken the papers, saying, can I have those papers? Can I have these notes? Said Lynn didn't have a credit card. Then some store ones like, I don't know what that says. Coles. So there we go, Coles. He also talked to a cop, a friend here of his, and judge here. He said in interview, we met at that restaurant on, is it Highway 100? He got $13,000. I don't know if it's worth bringing up, but I was summoned. I was, what does this word say? Something for being incarcerated. It's on the paper. He said Lynn gave him. He said in his interview that when asked what he got from Lynn, nothing of value. Bank statements show many payments to credit cards. So now we continue with the letter, because that's now the front. This would then be the back. Personal it says personal, a personal representative in that capacity to sell, lease, or mortgage any property, real or privately, publicly or personal, without any order of the court, and without notice upon such terms or conditions, and shall seem best said to personal representative, and without liability on the part of any purchaser, tenant, or mortgages, to see the application of the consideration, and to settle, compromise, and pay any claims, including taxes asserted in favor of or against me or my estate. I, Lynn N. Hernan, the testatrix. Is it testatrix or testatrix? The testatrix signed and dated on first day of February 2018. Lynn Hernan. There she signs again, trying to make the L like that. And here's the little star, which probably means stamp here. I declare and acknowledge that the testatrix signed and dated her will in front of me. And it appears she seems to be of sound body and mind. Done in person with advisor, Mr. Diaz. There's a number at BMO Waukesha. Jessy Kurczewski. Nomfix says it sounds like she copied that right out of a book. I know, right? Yeah, Heather, personal, didn't spell correctly many times. Sure. So now it's signed there. We're almost there. This is a list of who gets what. On this date, 2/1/2018, leave the following personal items as follows when I'm gone. That is, null and void. Null and void price list. 1. Diana Lang. 2 antique pictures in hallway. Mom's great-great-grandma and great-aunt at 2 years old, born 1908. What a weird letter. 2. Keith Lang. Richland Center picture glass. Dry count from our grandma's time. Your other gift you already got. That's between us. Jim Kelleher. In china cabinet. Crazy 8 ball and ashtray. It's an ashtray, according to Jessy. Okay, your grandma's champagne glass. You owe me tons. Corinne Poser. Hat pin, glass, shoes, any clothes or shoes you want. 5. Anthony Poser. I originally said Jessy got the Wizard of Oz memorabilia, but it was you who got the most of it. So any you first pick plus anything of my dad's you'd like. 6. Stefan Poser. Babala. I thought maybe you'd like the old school pinball game. Now she's showing a friend again where to stamp. So let's go to the next page. Again, this is a repeat of earlier, where to stamp. Still where to stamp. Here we go without the stamp. Cole Kostreva, your grandma's silver rabbit cane. Okay, that's all that Cole gets, okay. Jennifer Flowers. So everybody else gets just a little something here or there, but Jennifer Flowers, 2016 Jeep purse, sequin reel. Swan ashtrays, stork ashtrays, birdcage looking lamp, gold cross with ashes, that way will always be swimming together. 9. Jessy. Damn, she spelled her own surname wrong. Trying to be Lynn, trying to misspell her own damn surname. Where's the Z? Okay, Marilyn posters, you love them. Mom's charm bracelet. Judy Kelleher, Jean Tennell, Lisa Waitering. Work with Jennifer and Jessy to have something to remember me. Oh my word, they got the short end of the stick. And 2/1/2018, Lynn Hernan. Now here it says, trial notes. IP address is the same for when online banking, which goes to my phone. Before death, hospital, after death. She's even got the IP addresses listed here. Okay. Jeep Wrangler. What does this say? Jess? I don't know. Where does it show she got $250,000 from her mom? Hiding mom's assets. Are they really asking that? Where does it show that she got $250,000 from her mom? Okay. Hiding mom's assets. I believe that she was moving money from her mom's account while her mom was alive. She banked at BMO. That's how Lynn got in. She was added to her accounts. Her mom had Alzheimer's. And then she says SP. That's Jessy then. Spelling, question mark. My word. Damn. It seems like Jessy wrote these little scribbles in too. I don't know. Which part is Donna Kuchler's writing then? Because Donna says she recognized her own writing in here. Which part is it? Because this SP question mark, unless Jessy is just mimicking that. Maybe she learned that from her. To be like spelling? Alzheimer's? I think that's what she's trying to write there. X120 landmark. They didn't say how my mom is on her BMO Harris. They didn't say that Lynn was added to Wells Fargo. September 19th in the hospital. And guys, that's the end of the letter. Katrina says, curious if she asked her lawyer to give her trial notes to her mom. Sure. Would be interesting. That would be interesting. So let me quickly show you something. Don't need to save that. Here's this. Okay, wait. Yeah, okay. Shame. My voice box will need some tea and some rest. I'm getting old, you guys. I'm almost 40. Right now I'm sounding about 80. Just saying, I'm using the voice box quite a bit. So here is my playlist, okay? If you've never seen it, this is it. It's linked in the description box for you. I drop murder trial, Jessy Kurczewski. Victim, Lynn Hernan. You could see it day 1, day 2. Everything is, look there, a full trial day, 3 hours 53. It's condensed. It's defluffed. Okay? And if you like fluff, I actually showed that on Patreon. I made a full fluff video, just the fluff. All the bits of fluff I cut out, put it together, put some funny music with it. That's on Patreon. Okay, so here is what you guys were referring to earlier, which means you didn't watch my YouTube shorts. Why? So anyway, always just check the shorts section on this channel. I also have a second channel that's called Grizzly True Crime Shorts, okay? Where I make more shorts. So check this out.
Page letter. So if you want to check that out. Additionally, I saw a bunch of people say that Grizzly True Crime read the entire 37-page letter. So if you want to check that out after this video, go check out Grizzly True Crime and read the entire letter where she goes into detail about asking this friend to sound like the victim, to put a TV on the background and watch the shows the victim likes to watch, to do it in a smoker's, older person's voice, to say certain things that absolutely make it seem like it was not this defendant that had any wrongdoing here. It is bonkers what she asked this person to do. But the main point of this is that she said it was her lawyer's idea and the lawyer was going to facilitate the handoff of this letter improperly.
Today, I'm going to go live to read that letter one more time, this time much slower and with commentary. And that's what we did today. That is exactly what I offered here today. Now, wish me luck. if there's true crime news tomorrow, let's hope my voice will make it. I'll have some throat lozenges and things, and rooibos tea. Remember, I'm from South Africa, so we do love our rooibos tea. I think you guys in the States, I saw it once at Starbucks, African Red Bush. I was like, what? We got some African Red Bush tea. I'm like, okay, rooibos. So I'll have some rooibos tea, some honey, lemon, whatever, all those things, throat lozenges. If anyone is like a voice coach and you want to tell me how to look after this voice box, you let me know. You email me, okay? So thank you all. If you stayed here throughout that entire stream to watch me read that crap, thank you so much, because oh man, this was round 2, and you could see we did not have time for that yesterday. Now you also understand why yesterday we powered through. This was 2 hours and 26 minutes. Yesterday, after receiving the letter, I immediately got to work to obviously make the presentation, because I received the document as pictures, so I had to crop them and turn them and everything, and then transcribe them, okay, so that we could go over it, and I had to just go for it. So we started the live stream yesterday an hour before the sentencing hearing, so we had 1 hour. 1 hour to go through all of that. But now, today, we could do it much slower, look at everything, add in the bits that we learned at the trial, and some commentary and some snark where appropriate, of course. And so 2.5 hours later, here we are. Okay. Liza says, I am drinking rooibos tea now, the best. Is it? And are you in South Africa or elsewhere in the world? Okay. Oh, very nice. Pernell says, I can actually help you there. Have a good friend that's a voice coach. Yes, please send tips to protect my voice box so that I can be here for many decades with you guys. I'm almost 40, and one day I want to be like, guys, I'm almost 80. And today, and we always love map time, snarky time, document time, presentations, press conferences, deep dives, right? It's only going up from here. Thank you everyone who has recently subscribed. We've got now a new milestone. We have 245,000 Grizzlies as part of this community, which is fantastic. I'm so happy. Oh my word. You guys have all exceeded my expectations. Can't believe it. I started my channel in the end of June of 2021. So I've been here now for 2.5 years. And damn, there's a lot of very wonderful Grizzlies, and you know, families do feel safe here. People do take notice. We, of course, have the best mods, obviously. Thank you, mods, for everything you do. If you want to buy the mods a coffee, you can go to grizzlytruecrime.com. Go to the support page. You'll see all the best ways to support the work I do. Scroll down. You'll see mod coffees. Okay, it says, what is a moderator? It'll explain and all of that. And then there's a buy the mods a coffee. That is where you spoil the mods. Every quarter, I divide it equally between the mods. And thank you, everyone, for doing that. You guys are awesome. So I'm going to go now, rest the voice, see the cats, who they're probably waiting for me. They're very naughty, always very hungry. Yeah, oh dear. No steel guitar, I don't. I need to protect my voice. So I will see you again very soon. I might be speaking to, remember the case we covered, Katie Ferguson? We covered it this week. I might be speaking to her family members soon to get some clarification, you know, on the case, and some details and facts that maybe we didn't know, so that we can help to spread awareness, and maybe I'll make a flyer and things like that, like we said. So look out for that. If you didn't see the earlier live stream in the breaking news for Crystal Rogers' case, please check that out. Okay, so anytime that you feel like, where is she? I miss her. Please check out some replays, because I'm sure you don't watch everything. Some of you do. But check out some replays as well. And I'll see you again very soon, okay? I don't like going, but I gotta go. Okay, bye everyone.